There is a modern luxury SUV that generates more horsepower than an original Bugatti Veyron. For years, the Mercedes-Maybach GLS 600 has been the standard for high-end road opulence. It starts around $185,000, though with common options, it easily clears $200,000. It relies on a century of German heritage and brand prestige. Then there is the BYD Yanguang U8. It costs the equivalent of about $140,000 in China and arrives with a staggering 1,188 horsepower. To understand the gap between them, we can use this quadrant chart. On the vertical axis, we have heritage versus technology. On the horizontal, passive serenity versus active capability. The Maybach sits in the top left, prioritizing legacy and comfort. The Yangwang occupies the bottom right, leaning into active, tech-driven capability. If we strip away the brand logos and focus only on the raw data for price and power, the comparison becomes an objective look at engineering and value. At this price point, the decision isn't just about the badge. It's about choosing a specific philosophy of what a luxury vehicle should do. Inside the Maybach, every surface is covered in Napa leather, real wood, or deep pile carpet. The rear executive seats are designed to isolate the passenger from the outside world. This creates an analog, serene environment. It is a space optimized for a passenger who prefers to be chauffeured in quiet comfort. The Yangwang U8 takes a digital approach. The cabin is dominated by a 5-screen layout, including a 23.6-inch display dedicated to the driver. It uses BYD's God's Eye assistant system, which relies on a hardware suite of 3 lidars, multiple radars, and 18 cameras. This results in a futuristic command center. It is a high-tech environment, optimized for a driver who wants to interact with the vehicle's intelligence. We can track these differences on a comparison matrix. Under cabin philosophy, the Maybach offers analog craftsmanship, while the Yangwang provides a digital command center. The Maybach targets traditional wealth through physical comfort, while the Yangwang targets a new demographic through technological density. The Maybach uses a traditional twin-turbo V8, producing 550 horsepower. It is a refined mechanical powertrain that fits the brand's smooth character. The Yangwang uses a quad-motor hybrid setup. By placing a motor at each wheel, it generates a total of 1,188 horsepower. On the road, that power gap is immediate. The Maybach reaches 60 miles per hour in 4.8 seconds. The U8 does it in 3.6 seconds. Despite weighing 3.5 tons, the U8 is faster off the line than a dedicated modern sports car. Under powertrain and speed, the U8 offers a 1.2-second advantage to 60 and more than double the horsepower of its rival. While the Maybach's V8 provides a familiar, luxury engine note, the U8's quad-motor torque puts it in a different performance bracket entirely. To manage its ride, the Maybach uses air suspension. It is designed to erase road imperfections, creating a magic carpet feel on straight highways. The trade-off is noticeable body roll. When entering a corner, the weight of the vehicle shifts significantly, prioritizing comfort over lateral grip. The Yangwang U8 uses a hydraulic body control system called DICE-SP. It uses hydraulic pressure and independent motor control to provide active torque vectoring. This pushes power to the outside wheels to help rotate the vehicle's mass through a turn. On our matrix, under handling logic, the Maybach focuses on ride eraser, while the Yangwang prioritizes active, flat cornering with a slightly firmer feel. The Maybach is built for straight-line isolation, while the Yangwang uses hydraulic pressure and torque to keep a 3-ton frame level through tight bends. Traditional luxury features in the Maybach include a champagne cooler and a dedicated bounce mode for the suspension. The Yangwang U8 can perform a tank turn. Because the motors can spin in opposite directions on each side, the vehicle can rotate 360 degrees without moving forward or back. It also includes emergency flotation. If submerged in deep water, the chassis seals, and the wheels act as paddles to move the vehicle to safety. Our final matrix row, the X factor, contrasts the Maybach's focus on cabin amenities with the Yangwang's mechanical versatility. Rotating in place or navigating floodwaters represents a tier of extreme engineering that extends a vehicle's utility well beyond the traditional luxury cabin. Since the U8 has the objective advantage on paper, The choice depends on how you use the vehicle. This decision tree helps map it out. If you plan to be driven and you value a century of heritage and quiet isolation, the Maybach GLS 600 remains the benchmark. If you are the driver and you want the highest level of performance and technological ROI, the Yangwang U8 is the clear choice. For the value-conscious buyer, it's worth noting that choosing the U8 over a well-optioned Maybach leaves roughly $70,000 in your pocket. The Maybach keeps the crown for old-world prestige, but the Yangwang U8 has effectively set a new technological ceiling for what an ultra-luxury SUV can do.